Good afternoon, everybody. It is a bright and sunny day, Saturday. Just want to show you, I got my fall chickens. They're all healthy. I haven't lost a single one yet. I only got 60 this time. When I got 90 of them last, it looked fine, but I think 90 was pushing it. I think this winter I'm going to take this apart and build a much bigger one so we can house 90 because we sell that many chickens. Let me put you guys in the sun. I'm in the shade. So I'm gonna take that apart this winter, not right now, of course. I'm gonna rebuild a much bigger one so I could house maybe even more, like maybe, maybe 100 chickens or something like that. But all right, what was I gonna do actually? I was gonna, one of the waters empty. You have two waters. You gotta be careful at this time of the year when it's really hot like this to make sure they always have water. So, well, it wasn't completely empty. Okay, here you go. Chickens, fresh cold water for you guys. Plenty of shade, but it still looks pretty hot in there. But yeah, we haven't lost any chickens yet, so that's a lot better than the first, my spring batch where I lost like 30 of them. And the post office didn't give it to other people. They called us and they knew it was us. They were our chickens. All right, my last video I cut up 2 boards. I'm gonna see if I can, what kind of boards I can make. I'm hoping to get 2x4s out of it. I can make 2x4s, the actual like 2x4s. It actually is 2" by 4", not 1.5" by 3.5". Oh, I'm gonna put you guys down here because the camera is gonna overheat in the sun. If you guys could see, I snapped a line, and that's a 2x4. So I could get maybe one real good one and then one semi not so good one because that end's a little thinner. So I'll start with a 2x4 and most likely it will end up around there, and then the rest will be just bleh. But it will still be usable because it's got one good edge. And then I snapped one line to get the start of a straight edge. So I'm going to cut that and then measure up all my 2x4s. I'm thinking I'm going to be able to get at least 2 boards out of this one. I still got that piece. I believe if I snap a line, I might be able to get one good 2x4 out of that. Maybe. I'm thinking about running the mill one more time, see how far I go until it cuts out, and I'll still be able to make something out of that because I don't want to just waste it. It might, obviously it's going to go all the way to about, I think about here, and then it'll cut loose, and then it'll just be one of those exposed edges on that side. It could still be used as a board. So to create a good board, I'm gonna have to go create a straight edge. I've got a piece of plywood. I'll set my table saw up and try to cut a section of my plywood. Use the factory cut edge as my cutting edge to create, the straight edge. Cut that board and cut the board straight, because if I freehand it, it's just gonna be all wonky. All right, so I'm gonna go do that and I will be back. All right, scratch that idea. I was looking at all my plywood and I realized I need all that plywood, so I can't be cutting it up right now. So instead, I'm gonna go back to working with putting more stuff into setting another post and maybe putting cross beams with actual logs instead of boards that I was gonna cut up. Will save me some time, actually. Whoa, what is that? Just flew by me. Something huge just flew by me. No idea what it was. Still have that, so I was thinking maybe I put some cross beams, in between all the posts. Definitely will strengthen everything up, and then I'll probably dig another post hole and add another post to it. Nothing on this side, of course, because this is gonna be the entrance. I'm still have to fix that also. Maybe that I'll also do that, add a post to lift this beam up right here, straighten it up so I could add a board to it, or maybe if I add a post to it and straightens it up, and I could just kind of get some brackets and bracket it now, make sure it's all fixed in and it won't move. I need to buy some brackets for the bottom post so it stays still. Actually, I thought I had some brackets. I swear I have some brackets. I do have a bracket, but it's I should have set that while I set the concrete. For some reason I remember having brackets, but not this kind. These are the kind that you set into the concrete, which I thought for some reason it was just this, and then you just lay it and then you drill a hole and tap one of those bolts into the concrete after you drill a hole. I thought that's what it was, but that's too late for that. Then for the time being, I'll just set a post in there. Then I'll get some L brackets with that I will be able to drill into the concrete and just bolt it onto the bottom of the post, so it's doesn't go anywhere. But I need to figure out how to straighten this out first, so I know how much the length of post I need. So I was thinking maybe there's another beam on top of it that's firmly nailed and screwed onto the frame. I was thinking maybe just get a ratchet strap and just ratchet strap it up, and then I will set a string line on top, just an inch off, but at the right level of the board, and then I'll just ratchet it up. It should just go right, all the way up. All right, let's get to it. Okay, there we go. That's pretty close. That's a lot I have to raise up. I think that's gonna be it right there. That looks like a lot better, doesn't it? I'll see if I have my editing skills, and I'll just quickly do it before and after. Boop. Yeah, what do you think? Okay, I need at least saying 7'6½". So I'll make one at 7'6" and 5/8", just for the sag. First, maybe I should try to make this cut just a little bit level, huh? Ooh, what the heck? That's a giant spider. Spider web in my face. Oh, I don't want to push my luck, and that looks actually pretty good. Did I say 7'6" or 6'7"? Oh boy. No pencil, of course. All right, let's give it a shot. Oh, there we go. All right, let's see if I can release the ratchet. Am I tall enough? Nope. And just get the ladder. It is holding up. A little higher than what it's showing. But I mean, it's like a 1/4 inch higher than the string line. I think I'm gonna leave it because it's most likely it's gonna sag later as time passes. When I put the roof on, the weight might make it sag just a little bit, so I'm gonna keep that there. I'm gonna add a bunch of screws to that so it holds in place also, because it's very, very loose. And I might add another board across it anyways. All right, let's get the strap off. Might have to do something about that also. I might go get a board and connect it to those rafters to sturdy this up, because that ain't gonna do. Oh yeah, that did it. That feels strong now. All right, I'm gonna add screws to these. I'm not even gonna bother trying to get those old nails out. I want to rust it in and probably impossible to take out anyways. So I just kind of notch this board like that on both sides, just like that, and then I line it up, and then I kind of draw out where it's gonna be, and then I just kind of shimmy it in there. Same thing on this side. It's a little more tricky on this side. I think it's getting late. I gotta start making dinner for the kids. So I'll be working on it again tomorrow. And well, I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow then. Wow, I was just talking this whole time for about 3 minutes and I was not recording. That's me. Okay, so in my last video I put those two bottom pieces in, and I went ahead and kind of flattened that side and that side. Found the piece. This piece may or may not work for me. So yeah, I'm gonna have to kind of work on notching this piece a little bit. It is kind of on the rotting side and kind of soft over here. So I don't know if this is gonna be usable. Flatten that end. I just gotta work on this end, but I need a level. Hey. The string line level is not the most accurate, but oh, thank you. Hey, look at that, right on the money. Just a little bit higher. Can't get better than that. All right, I got that done. That's out of the way. Let's work on this one right here. That end's really wide, so I'm gonna have to kind of shave it down a little bit. I don't know if you guys see how it kind of fans out. I'm gonna quickly chop it down, try to get it kind of in the same width as everything else. I gotta go get my hatchet real quick. Oh, the rain's here. All right, gotta go. Yeah, I just made it in.
This is actually our first real good rain in about 2 weeks. I don't think I ever told you guys that my cucumber trellis fell about 2.5 weeks ago in another storm, and it pretty much destroyed all my cucumbers. It never bounced back after I put it all back. So yeah, it looks sad. Hopefully this rain will give it a little bit of boost and everything will come back to life. All right, I gotta get back in. I'm getting wet.
All right, good morning. It's Friday. Got the day off from work. Kind of slept in a little bit. It's about 9 o'clock. I didn't just wake up. I've been up for about an hour and a half. Eating breakfast. And I'm gonna, since I have a day off of work, I'm gonna be doing a lot of work at home. So no days off for me. So a couple things I need to get to. I do have to set another post inside my lean-to that I'm building, and hopefully I could get the boards made. As many boards as I can make today. So it's gonna be a lot of time-lapse milling. I don't want you guys watching me mill for hours upon hours. So it's gonna be a quick time-lapse. So it's only a few seconds. So yeah, so I set that post earlier this week, and I just set another post. So like I mentioned, back here, this is the back end of the milking stand, extension, barn, whatever, lean-to I'm building for Angela. Back here, like right about 4 feet out, maybe 4 or 5 feet out from the back wall, we're gonna make a little area for the calf to be in while in case of any real bad storms, or it's super duper cold and if the calf needs to be inside, or like an ice storm comes in. Actually, Brielle probably would be able to fit in there too, because she's a tiny little cow. So we need to make a little area where we could put the calf, and we need to separate Brielle and the calf for milking. So I need to set another post in here, and so when I'm ready, I could put it in here and put a gate, and I need a gate, a solid post for the door. Well, I gotta go feed the pigs anyways. Probably wondering where their food was. I normally get it at 6 o'clock in the morning. It's 3 hours late. So, oh, those chickens are still inside. Ugh, spider webs. There you go, chickens. All right, piggies, you guys are moving tomorrow. Tomorrow is your move. Not today, tomorrow. Yes, ladies, I'm coming, ladies. You guys are so noisy. There you go. You gotta move your head, Lilu. Everyone's eating, everyone's happy. Piggies being piggies. So what I'm gonna work on is we're going to set that other post in the ground and just get out of the heat until a little later on this afternoon to make the boards when the shade is there. I'm not gonna be crazy enough or dumb enough to stand work in the sun today. It's gonna be real hot and humid today, so okay, I got some work to do. All right, I got all the boards in. Whew. Last one was tough. So yep, all the bottom boards are in. It's just, it's a little bit crooked. Just a tiny bit. But it's all notched in there. It shouldn't go anywhere. We're gonna burn it. And then I'm gonna get the two 18-inch timber framing screws and just screw it on from here in and from, you know, back and forth through all these, so there's something holding on to them. Oh boy. Alright, yeah. Time to go inside and cool off. I feel like passing out. That would make my very first usable board. I could, just hopefully I could get 2 more. I guess I have 1 more out of there. But I'll get that tomorrow. Whew, hopefully I could do it. All right, I'm gonna sign off here. Late in the day, my body is just aching, tired. All right, my name is Sang. This is Growing Little Country Homestead. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.